Hello everyone, I hope you are all doing well. Before I go straight into the video, I wanted to share a new coaching service that I have just launched called The Collective. Now, The Collective is a monthly subscription to all of my workshops and masterclasses for as long as you are subscribed, and you have 100% full access to them 24/7. That is the 5 steps to manifesting iconic love, self-love subconcept workshop, the ultimate foundation to manifesting anything you desire, become chosen and prioritized masterclass, and the radiate confidence to become irresistibly magnetic and extremely desirable to anyone you want. And when I launch more, they will all land in there too. So check that out, guys. The link is below and you get immediate access to them all. Okay, let's get to today's video. If you are bothered by anything, and I mean anything at all from your past, I am here to share with you that you have the power to revise it. And this is the rare Neville Goddard technique that I'm going to be sharing with you all today, and also give you examples about how I revise situations with specific person, money, and so much more, and how you can do this too. You see, the cycle of whatever it is you are experiencing, it can be broken when you know how. And I'm going to start by sharing examples of how I revise so you can too, any situation to break that pattern of belief and thought about it. Before I go into this, I want to share with you all that throughout the day, you are all revising. You are revising situations to be positive or negative. So let's say you send a WhatsApp to a friend and they don't respond. Maybe it's been 24 hours and they're normally really responsive, but they haven't responded. Let's say you then start to tell yourself that you must have done something wrong, or they don't want to talk to you anymore, or that you're not important to them like you once were. So what you have done here is you've taken a situation and assumed it to mean this. And an assumption is something that we perceive to be true without any proof. You have revised it in this way, in this negative way, and you have created it to be that meaning. You see, you could have just as easily revised it to have meant that they must be busy, they'll get back to me when they can, and, just let go of it and get on with your day, get on with your life. You see, there's also a reason why you have chosen the negative scenario as opposed to the positive scenario, and I will dive deeper into this later in this video. This is the law of assumption. What you dominantly assume will harden into fact. So if we think about your specific person, let's say you want your SP back and you're doing the imaginal acts and you're affirming about them. What you're doing is you're revising the past story about them to align to the story you do want to have with them. And when done repeatedly, it will harden into fact. Law of assumption is all about the stories that you are telling yourself in your present, in the present moment. So when it is something wanted, you would then tell the story that aligned to you having that outcome now in the present. You see, the past doesn't come into it. It is all about what you are doing in the now, in the present, within your imagination. So what can happen is throughout your day, things can happen and it can throw you off track from the outcome that you are wanting, which will then lead you to start telling a new story, an unwanted story. So it's about being consciously aware of the story that you are telling yourself throughout the day. So ask yourself, maybe pen and paper time, ask yourself, whatever the story is it going to benefit you to get closer to your manifestation, or is it not benefiting you? Which one is more dominant throughout your day? Revision is the key to releasing old beliefs and past stories and events that have been doing nothing but keeping you trapped like a prisoner in your mind. When I was intending my ex-specific person to come back, I had to completely let go of all the old stories and beliefs that I had been holding on to and only focus on what I did want. And that was him and I back together. No matter what I was hearing or what was happening outside of me in the 3D, I remained faithful to this. And this is why he then, from not wanting me back, from not wanting me to come back to him, pursued me and was blowing up my phone. And we got back together. And that took probably about 8 weeks. It was only about 8 weeks prior to that, the complete story was absolutely the opposite. And it was all because I remained faithful to the revised story of him wanting me. I used intentions then because at the time I found intentions a softer way to believe that it was possible. When I was building my business, at one point, it was about 10 or 11 months. I'd had no clients, no money. When I finally let go of the fear and the old story, and I focused on telling the only story that I wanted to experience about my business, being successful and having a diary full of clients, within 5 weeks of solidly repeating and revising what was to what I wanted to experience, my business exploded. One day I went to see my mum at her home. This is years ago, and my family were there. And one of my family members sarcastically introduced me to my nephew and told him that he wouldn't get to see me much because I worked all the time, because I liked material things, I liked nice things. Now, I was really hurt back then because I did actually have to work really hard just to pay my bills, and anything left, I would treat myself, or if I got a little bonus, I would treat myself with something nice. But I didn't realize at the time, but I had held on to that belief that having nice things and wanting nice things was bad and that I would be judged. Since my business grew, I had been thinking about a particular car I'd always wanted, and it is a big car, you guys. I was always used to living so small, so completely the opposite of me. But it was a dream of mine, but I just couldn't bring myself to invest in it. And it was last year, and I was thinking about it again, and I couldn't work out what was holding me back from having this dream car of mine. So I did what I teach, and I went in within, and I had my subconscious tell me it was because I was fearful of being judged, like what had happened in that scenario, that people wouldn't like me and that they would judge me, or put me down. Well, now I knew that this was a totally outdated limiting belief, because I don't care what people think about me or what life I'm creating for myself. I had to let go of the fear of that a long time ago, but this must have still been hanging around somewhere in my subconscious. So I totally revised it there and then on the spot and told myself it is safe for me to be seen, and it is safe for me to have nice things, and it is safe for me to buy what I want without fear of being judged. And, I'm always surrounded by love, and people will always love me no matter what. Within 2 weeks, I ordered my dream car. And whilst it has taken a very long time, because that was May last year, a very long time for it to be built, it's coming to me next week. In fact, I did a test drive this morning. So what I know to be true is this: as long as we remain persistent in a desire, whether that is speaking in the outcome that we are doing, or imaginal acts, or both, or more. Let's say you felt like, you made a fool of yourself in front of somebody that you really liked. Even that, revising that to them loving how authentic you are and how they can't stop thinking about you, how mesmerized you left there, and how you made them laugh. So you'd repeat this as your new story, or not focus on it at all, as though it's never happened. And I've done that with people too. And when I have seen them again, it really is like nothing ever happened. When we are doing this consciously, it is a lot easier to understand why we would think the negative story in the first place. And consciously, we can go back to that event of where it came from. But there is also those unwanted thoughts that are not known, those unknown stories that you are holding on to about yourself that are blocking you from being able to revise, and blocking you from being able to remain faithful to the outcome that you do want, to the life that you want. Love, money, abundance, wealth, prosperity, health, whatever it is. It is the subconscious root cause, which is the deepest belief that you have about yourself, that is controlling you and keeping you trapped in that prison cell from the life that you've always wanted. So when I found mine and revised it, and when my clients found theirs and revised theirs, our lives have totally transformed, because we simply went deep enough. We dug deep to the root, to the core. We were able to not only create an empowering belief to, when embedded repeatedly, would override the root. We went to the place it came from. Now, most of my clients, this is around the time that they were born and being born. The program kicks in when it kicks in. But in my experience with my clients and with myself, it is around birth. And because we are all energetically connected, even in the room, you pick up on what is going on around you. And this is how we're then able to see the truth and revise the past, which will then revise your entire story. This really is life transforming stuff that I teach you, and why I curated the Be Love Group Transformational 4-month program with me. You see, in phase one, which I just call simply the healing phase, during the first 4 sessions, you will be taught by me how to journey to your own subconscious neural pathways to uncover your root cause. This is so unique and so rare because you will be learning how to access your innate power to outwit your ego by developing such a potent transformative skill that you will be able to take this life skill with you everywhere for life. The healing phase is for you to transform within, deep within, to finally become the version of you that you were born to be. And this new identity of yours, from all of the beautiful, deeply buried work, inner work you will have been doing on yourself, naturally blends beautifully into phase 2. So during phase 2, the final 4 sessions, whilst you are remaining focused on your self-love, deep healing practices from the captivating library of teachings that will be developed over time, you will now be learning the manifestation skills in how to become a master at Neville Goddard's techniques to bring your vision of your iconic love story to a reality. This journey is so magical, you guys, and will be a cherished moment in time when you truly see just how incredibly powerful you are. Now you are seeing the truth of you, the true you. Now we've dug up that root cause, you see. So if you would like to find out more about joining the group, the Be Love Group Transformational Journey, please just click the link below and DM me on Insta if you are ready to sign up, and or if you have any questions about this. So to wrap up, this is how you revise any situation, let go of old past stories that do not serve you. You assume the outcome you want, and when done dominantly, it will harden into fact. I've super loved sharing this with you today, guys. Please feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, I will be back very, very soon.